This is the explanation of the devil's playground. The devil's playground. Some might say it's a fairy tale, a legend, a story of fiction. However, I know this to be true. Now I'm about to explain to you in deeper detail about the devil's playground, which is all around you as far as the eye can see. Now in the devil's playground at number 1, you have a ride that seems harmless and fun to the person that uses it. However, it has a deeper meaning, and that is the merry-go-round. Now the merry-go-round is what a lot of kids usually play on when they go to the park. It's probably one of the first places you go to when you go to the park to have fun. So you'll go into the merry-go-round. And what the merry-go-round represents is alcohol abuse, getting drunk all the time, drinking first thing in the morning, committing crimes while under the influence of alcohol, and also drug use, taking drugs and selling important items that belong to yourself for drugs. Also committing crimes with drugs, hideous crimes with drugs. And getting married, becoming addicted to alcohol and drugs. And the reason why this is a part of the devil's playground, the merry-go-round, is because you get addicted to drugs and alcohol, and then you go round and round in circles. You take the alcohol and drugs, it runs out, you buy some more. And you go back and forth, round and round you go, like a merry-go-round. This is why the merry-go-round represents alcohol and drugs, and it is number 1 on the list of the devil's playground. Moving to number 2 on the list of the devil's playground is swings. Swings are fun to swing on. Swings make you feel a sense of freedom. However, there is a darker side to the swings. The swings represent sexual sins, like sex before marriage, swinging, gangbangs, lust, and adultery. Now the reason why the swings represent sexual sin is because of the movement that you use when you're on the swing. If you notice, how do you move when you're on the swing? What motion? What part of your body do you move when you're on the swing? Yes, you guessed it right. Your hips. You move your hips when you're on the swing. In a similar motion that you would move if you was having sex. Back and forth in sheer ecstasy and delight. This is why the swings represent sexual sin, because it moves in a sexual movement. Good practice here for sexual sins when they're going to be committed in the future, And it is also probably one of the devil's favourites. So sexual sins is also in the devil's playground. Moving on to the third part of the devil's playground, you have of course the climbing frame. Now you're asking me, why is the climbing frame a part of the devil's playground? Well, let me explain to you. In the devil's playground, they have the climbing frame there because they allow some people and certain individuals may choose and deem fit to make them fall. They allow these individuals to climb to the top of life and generally get all the things that their heart desires and all the stuff that they want and could ever imagine in life. And they reach a peak in life where they've got everything they want, all the stuff they could ever need. And they're just living life peacefully in ecstasy and nostalgia lifestyle. Then all of a sudden, they usually get framed for a crime they didn't commit. This is why this is called the climbing frame. Because the climbing frame represents people that have been framed for a crime they didn't commit. And it's usually people that have been allowed to climb to the top, to reach higher goals in life, that are usually framed. And this is why we call it the climbing frame. And some examples of this are Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Mike Tyson, Dr. Malachi York, Rashad Jamal. All of these men were framed for a crime they didn't commit. So this is a prime example of the climbing frame. Moving on to number 4, which is monkey bars. Now monkey bars, you might say, how is that a part of the devil's playground? They're fun. I like to swing on them and hand drop from them. Do all sorts of foolishness on the monkey bars. But let me explain to you, young one, why the monkey bars are a part of the devil's playground. When you go to prison, what is the main thing you have to do in prison in order to survive prison? To come out on the other side safely and make it home to your loved ones. The main thing that you have to do when you go to prison is fight. If you don't fight in prison, you don't stand up for yourself and fight to protect yourself, there's a high chance while in prison you could lose your life. This is why we call it the monkey bars. Because when you go to prison, you have to fight behind bars to make it out alive on the other side. And when you're on the monkey bars in the park, what do you do in the monkey bars in the park? You swing your arms, you grab hold of the bar, and you swing your arms to the other bar to make it on the other side. So it's the motion of swinging your arms represents swinging your arms to fight people in prison. So you swing your arms on a monkey bar to reach the other side. Similar fashion how you would swing your arms in prison to make it out to the other side of your sentence, to stay alive. This is why the monkey bars represents the devil's playground, and it is a powerful tool used by the devil, and he will send a lot of people there in order to make them fall. So always make sure you keep your strength up and exercise regularly and stay strong, fit and healthy, because you don't want to lose to the monkey bars in the devil's playground. Moving on to number 5 is the rocking horse. Now the rocking horse, you may say, how is that a part of the devil's playground? Well, let me explain to you how the rocking horse is a part of the devil's playground. On a rocking horse, you rock back and forth. And the rocking horse, reason why you rock back and forth is because the rocking horse represents insanity and getting into fights. That's why they call it a rocking horse, because in a fight, what do? You rock the other person. And what do you do when you go crazy? You rock back and forth. So the rocking horse represents insanity and going crazy and doing sin and getting into fights. It represents your insane crimes, insane sins, murders, stabbing, shootings, all that sort of thing, which the devil loves. So yeah, the rocking horse in the devil's playground is a valuable tool for the devil. And he spends most of his time focusing on the rocking horse technique. So make sure that you're strong, because you will get into battles in life and the devil will test you. You have to be ready for when he tests you at any moment. He could send a rocking horse towards you. So make sure you're prepared. Now moving on to the last but least is the slide. Now you may think, why the slide? But isn't it obvious? The slide, what do you do when you go down the slide? You descend. You go down, the slide represents, in a sense or a fashion or one or another, basically represents going down a dark path, reaching a low point in life, falling in sin, on the path to hell, then falling into hell. This is why the slide is generally the last thing that you'll use when you go to the park. If you notice when you're young, before your mum would say, come, it's time to go home now, what will be the last thing that you go on one more time before you leave the park? You'll probably use the slide as your last ride to go on before you leave the park. And it's ultimately the last thing that happens to people if they descend on a dark path to hell. They go down a slippery slope, slippery slide, down into hell. So number 6, the slide, represents going down a dark path, reaching a low point in life, falling in sin on the path to hell, then falling into hell. And this that you have been watching is none other than the devil's playground. You've been listening to the explanation of the devil's playground, and you are watching the Nubian Kingz 144 channel. I'm your host, Ahmenu. Just something a little different, something for you today. I hope you listened to this explanation of the devil's playground and you found something interesting and learned quite a lot from it. It is a deep and detailed explanation of the devil's playground. If you liked the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Nubian Kingz 144. And if you have any comments about the video or any questions or theories or philosophies, feel free to leave a comment below. Until we meet again, farewell.